All right, so today's viewer question is from Chris, and Chris has written in with the following. Hi, I'm a high rate taxpayer. I work nights on the railway for over 40 years, and I'm a lifelong saver. My ISA allowance is full and has been since the days of Tessa. I have a full premium bonds, and some of my offspring even hold some of my cash in their name. I have also just started investing in stocks and shares, ISAs, and GIAs last year tentatively with Trading 212. I have full workplace pension and I've recently started AVCs and a SIPP with Invest Engine. However, I still have £170,000 in cash in taxable savings, which generate approximately £6,000 a year in interest, which means I have to pay 40% savings tax and get a bill from HMRC for £2,500. How best could I use this cash? I'm 59 years old and I pay enough tax from my salary. PS, I do not want the aggravation of being a landlord. Chris, thank you so much for the question. Appreciate you filling this in. What I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to use the iPad to kind of talk you through things that in theory you should be able to do. But I have to stress that you should definitely receive some advice to make sure that these things are actually applicable to your circumstances because there's so much that I don't know and I don't have you in front of me to be able to ask qualifying questions. I just have to go by what you've provided here. So take this with a pinch of salt in terms of this is just an educational video, something that will help you do further research, may plant some seeds, but this is not financial advice. Please just be mindful of that. And I think just looking at your circumstances, if you've been contributing to Teslas, that's what, pre 1999? You should have pretty decent sums in there. So I don't think retirement is definitely going to be kind of like a concern for you, but I can definitely pull your pain with having to fork out tax to HMRC when you're a high rate taxpayer, as it currently is. So let me just walk you through a few things. And I think we're going to start with your SIP. So jump over to the iPad. So with your SIP, it's good that you've already started paying into your SIP already. As a 40% taxpayer, the benefit of a SIP is the fact that you're going to get your tax relief in, which in other words means that for almost every pound that you pay in, it's literally only going to cost you about 60p once you factor in the tax relief from the government. Now, also within your SIP and just pensions in general, you may remember that the allowance for pensions went up to £60,000. Okay. And this number right here is actually really, really important for what we're going to talk about next. Because technically speaking, with pensions, they have something called carry forward. So with carry forward, it allows you to look back. We're looking back. We say forward, but we're looking back 3 years. So if we're in 2020, let's do it from 2025 because 2026 has just started. You could go back 3 years and try and figure out how much of your pension allowance you've used across those 3 years. Now, the pension allowance went up, I think it was last year or so. So you may not be able to use the full 60,000 number here. This is where you need to get detailed advice to really verify some of this for you. But technically speaking, let's just say for argument's sake, okay, that in 1 year you had a £40,000 allowance, which I think was, if my memory was the max at that point. If you'd only paid in something like 25, then you might have 15k in that year that you could bring forward and contribute into your pension as a lump sum. Then let's say in another year you had 10 and another 15k somewhere else. So as a combination of all of that, there's potentially 45k that you could pay into a pension using this carry forward mechanism. Now, what that also means is that you're going to get tax relief on this as well as the money goes in. So that's also going to be an offset in terms of your tax position as well. But what that means is that now you have that 170, you minus that 145, that £45,000 off it. All of a sudden, you're now starting to rock and roll. You have £125,000 left of that 170. So you've utilized a good chunk of that using something that you should be able to do on paper just by seeking a little bit of advice. And I think for this specifically, you will need to take some advice and speak to a financial advisor. Okay. That's the first thing that I wanted to point out. I've got a load of notes here. Just want to make sure I'm covering everything on here as well. Okay, cool. So yeah, we've done that bit. So let's talk about your general investment accounts, because that's something that you've started to do already, and you're doing that alongside ISAs as well. Okay. So in your general investment account, you're going to have some money in there, and it's going to be running alongside your ISAs. Now, let's just say you did the whole 3-year carry forward thing. You have £125,000 in. Obviously, your ISA allowance is capped. Okay, so you're 59, so you are going to be impacted by the ISA allowance coming down in 2027, not this tax year, the following tax year, down from 20,000 to 12,000 pounds if you're not going to be investing the full amount. So I think the workaround here is, because you're in the investment structure, you'll still be able to pay 20 grand into your ISAs every single year. The problem that you have is you can't put all of your £125,000 in one go into your ISA. So what you're probably doing, or have been advised to do, is put money into a general investment account, and then your general investment account is your feeder into your ISA. So your money's going to sit pretty much in here, and every single tax year, you'll then move the money across into your stocks and shares ISA. The problem with that is going to take you some time to max out, to utilize all of this for it to be in your ISA. All right. So I think one of the key things to remember is that, and I don't know whether you're married or not, but if you are, then your wife or your partner will also have an allowance, which means that potentially there is a way for you to double how much you're able to get into ISA wrappers, albeit it will be in your partner's name, generally speaking, right? Because you have to pretty much gift that money. But again, there needs to be an element of trust. Using a spouse can be a nice way of trying to move money into ISAs a little bit quicker than you will be doing using your general investment account as the feeder into your ISA. It's something to think about as a strategy, which I'm sure you're already kind of on top of already. Now, with the general investment account, I think it is also worthwhile just mentioning that whilst, this is a taxable environment, you're still going to have your CGT allowance. Okay. So, whilst it's still here, make sure that you take advantage of that CGT allowance. I think it's still £3,000 at this point in time. So, make sure that you're taking advantage of that. What you could also do, and this is something that, again, taking financial advice will help you with, is in order to mitigate any tax triggers, is using the bed in ISA, which is basically where you sell some of the holdings, but you rebuy them in an ISA within a quick period of time. If you're working with a financial advisor, they'll help you do this either way, but that's just a strategy that you would be using. You said that your premium bonds are already maxed out, which unfortunately there's not really much you could do else apart from that. Which an NS&I premium bonds to a certain extent is kind of like safe money. I mean, what we've been speaking about so far here, I mean, this is an investment, so there is an element of risk there. Your SIPP will have an element of risk, so hopefully you've invested this in a way that you're comfortable with the risk level that you're taking. The other thing that you could do, okay, and again, you are going to need to take advice for this, is you could look at VCTs, so venture capitalist trusts. They are a little higher risk on the investment spectrum. You're 59, so the question is going to be, at what point are you going to need access to this money? VCTs can be a really, really nice play because essentially they will give you 30% income tax relief. And that's going to allow you to save up to £200,000 a year into it. But the problem with the VCT is, sorry, is that because it is a little higher risk, you have to weigh up the risky element of the performance that it might generate you versus obviously the 30% income tax relief that you're going to get from it. It's free from dividends as well, which is also very, very good. And you've got to hold it for at least 5 years. Worthwhile noting. So that's one where, again, seeing a financial advisor would really, really add value to you here, because they will help you be able to walk through all of the options that you have. Because whilst 30% tax relief is very, very nice, there is no point in you going into VCT if the performance of it is shocking, and because of the nature of what it's invested in, you're minus 30%. You know, you're kind of net even. Why did you do that in the first place? So taking the advice and making sure that you're selecting the right thing is very, very important indeed. I'm just going to go full screen here, check my notes. I think that's pretty much it, mate, to be honest. I hope you found that useful in some way, shape, or form. It's not a definitive answer, and I can't give you a definitive answer. It would be very, very wrong of me to assume certain things and say you can definitely do this. But I've just hopefully been able to give you a flavor of things to perhaps go sense check. Um, People may or may not like me saying this on the channel, but look, go see a financial advisor. You can find a really, really good one. It's free oftentimes to go see them for that first meeting to see what their recommendation might be. You don't pay them anything until they execute on the other end, if you decide to get them to execute on your behalf. But I think in this circumstance, because of your situation, it's worthwhile just having a chat with one just to see what the advice would be and the practical side of what you should be doing will be. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you're watching this and you got some value, please don't forget to smash the like button. If you have just found me for the first time, please consider subscribing. It will be great to have you here. And if you want to have your question answered on the channel as well, there is a link to a Google form where you can submit yours in the description and also pinned in the comment section down below. Catch you later. Cheers.